Receiving simulator transmission. Uploading transmitted feed. Initializing playback sequence. Alright Seipher, we're ready.
Hey everyone, Seipher here, and welcome back to Seipher Plays Yugioh, Reshef of Destruction. In the last episode, we challenged the last of the major opponents to be found in Domino Square, before heading off to Domino Station, where we earned the right to board the Duel Express. This time, we're back at Kaiba Corp to take on a few new duelists that were unlocked from completing the Rebecca event here at Kaiba Corp headquarters. So, we're going to be taking care of these new challenges now before we go back to the Duel Express and hop aboard. So, first off, we've got the duel computer here. Challenge confirmed. Enter desired duel level. Okay, so, before we actually get into the battle here, the duel computer, it is unlike most opponents. It has 3 levels, Novice, Standard, and Expert. And it sports 3 separate decks for each level. Novice is not a challenge at all. It is basically the same deck as Tristan, with weak monsters and no spell or trap support. I will be showing this off now. Duel standby. Duel standby. 3, 2, 1. Duel start. Okay, so I did do a bit of grinding off screen, got my deck capacity up to 2,500. Should be good for right now. I also got a number of spellbinding circles off of Yugi, which is another of his drops, although I didn't manage to get a single monster reborn, but I did also get a bunch of Exodia pieces, and in the tolerable patch you can actually have more than 1 copy of Exodia in your deck, but again, I do not recommend this unless you're just using the head as a monster, because it's not all that worth it in my opinion. In terms of the duel computer's other levels, Standard, the difficulty curve of the duel computer jumps up as the non-tribute monsters have a minimum of 1,500 attack, and the computer will make use of some decent spells and traps. And then Expert, the duel computer pulls out all the stops with a beatdown and attack/defense reduction deck. It would be advised not to challenge either of those, especially the Expert, as the non-tribute monsters for that specific deck bottom out at 1,700 attack, so it is a very powerful deck. You'll just want to... I'm just showing off the novice level right now just to show what you'd be getting yourself into. It's really not much, but it is an easy opponent to beat, so might as well make use of it when you can. As I was grinding off screen, I did actually get a second Toadmaster card in Solomon's shop, so I did buy it. And I'd say that my deck is looking pretty powerful at this point. A variety of attributes, plenty of monsters to make use of, and some traps, although I do think that my balance of monsters to traps and spells could be a little better. From defeating this, we get our Phantom Dewan. So yeah, he pretty much, this duel computer pretty much gives the same sort of rewards that Duke does. So it's Tristan difficulty with Duke's rewards. So it's a pretty decent way of getting Domino in this version, in this patch. Mission complete. I await your next duel challenge. Okay, well, we're not gonna bother with that. Now, for our second opponent of the day. Roland. Duel? No, that is not permitted on these premises, is what I'm ordered to say. But I always wanted to play to see what it's like. Let's duel. Alright, so we got another opponent in Roland. Let's get this over with. And we're gonna start things off by using the Spirit of the Books here. The Kaiba Brothers' loyal servant is ready to take us on. This is Roland. His attributes are varied, and his non-tribute monsters have 900 attack or less. And I guess he had a pretty bad hand because he did not summon anything. He mainly focuses on swarming the field as quickly as possible, especially with Doran, a 900 attack warrior monster that can clone itself. His swarming strategy is mainly to build up his board so that he can summon powerful tribute monsters, including Blackluster Soldier, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and Master of Dragon Soldier. The latter of these three in the vanilla version can be a real pain due to being a divine type, which are immune to the attribute system, which I will go into a good deal later. For now, I would just say focus on keeping him from building up resources so that you stay on top of things. If you do manage to just keep your resources up and his resources down, you will have no trouble taking care of this guy whatsoever. Like, it's only been a few turns and I already have him down to his last 400 life points. Okay, easy peasy. There we go. Duel victory. Your deck capacity increased by 10, so another single duel. 1,000 domino, so hey, one use of the password machine back at the Moto Game Shop. Hero's Shadow Scout was obtained. Okay, not the best monster, but better than some. I think Mr. Kaiba is better at this than I am. And if we try and duel him again... No, not again. If Mr. Kaiba catches me, I'll be fired on the spot. Surprise, considering how he puts the card game above everything else. Seipher may be his brother, but that's besides the point. Anyway, time to make our way back to Domino Station to continue the main objective. Off-screen, I did duel all of the no-names in the Domino Station area that would accept my challenge, so let's just talk to... Or not. I didn't realize we could actually get on the train. This train is bound for the Egypt exhibition. We will be departing shortly. Why not board now and spend some time dueling? If we actually get off... Okay. I did not realize that was going to be that stringent. Duel Express is bound for the Egypt exhibition. The station is very crowded due to the duel tournament. Please board the train in an orderly manner. Okay. Well, didn't need to really do that. If we talk to the opponents here, I'm going to raise my duelist level here, then I'm going to the next car. Okay? This train's stopping at the Egypt exhibition, right? Yep. Welcome aboard the Duel Express. We'll be leaving very shortly. Forward, all clear. Rear, all clear. All clear for dueling. Duel Express is good to go. I'm going to give it my best shot. Our Duel Express is on the go. Alright, so from talking to everybody here and then talking to that guard on the left, we have officially gotten the train underway, as you can be seen by the shaking of the screen. We can duel these guys if we want, but I honestly don't see a point, especially if you're playing the vanilla version. You will have to deal with your life points not being able to reset, so I would not recommend it. For that reason, I'm just going to duel the guard here, which is what we need to do to progress further into the train. If you wish to duel against me, very well. Can you beat me at your duelist level? I'd be kind of surprised if I couldn't. Alright, so let's use this as our ante. And this should be a pretty quick match, I think. I'm gonna set Buku into defense mode just to see what he throws out. Okay, a little strong. But not anything we can't take care of. Alright, pretty good opening hand. Let's send this out next. Glad that wasn't an Aqua. That would have been real awkward. And that took out that, but oh well. Let's use our Hourglass of Life, since I got a few copies of this off of Duke between episode 1 and 2, and it is a pretty powerful monster. Although it's a lot more usable here in the tolerable patch, since I have life point recovery. It's a little less special in vanilla because of the artificial difficulty. Let's just use this to get rid of that guy. And there we go. Easy peasy. Duel victory. Deck capacity increased by 5. 100 Domino obtained. Kani Kabuto, which was the last thing we killed, so I've been defeated. The next card won't be so easy. Okay, so I know I said not to bother dueling these guys, but if you did take a lot of damage in that fight, I would recommend just losing to one of these guys and then getting back on the train, because it will not get any easier if we go into the next car. Anyway.
Ha ha ha. You'll go no further. Ha ha ha. My name is PaniK. The Millennium Items will never be yours. Ha ha ha. Looks like we've entered a tunnel, and darkness gives me power. It's time to duel.
Alright, so we've got our next opponent. Let's go with a Spellbinding Circle as our ante. Find Strength in Darkness. So yeah, the player kill of Darkness is back from his penalty game in Duelist Kingdom to take us on. Say hello to PaniK. Immediately, PaniK has the deck stacked in his favor, so to speak, by challenging us on a Yami field. He mainly uses Fiend-type monsters, as well as other monsters that get a boost from the Yami field, so when you are on a particular field, the monsters that are beneficial to it will get a 30% power boost, so this Phantom Dewan is a little bit stronger than it normally would be. However, you can also make use of this, as I can with the Widow Phantom here. Thankfully, his non-tribute monsters, when not in the Yami field, top out at around 600 to 700 attack, so it's not as dangerous as it could be, but it is still a means to give him an edge. Unlike most of the opponents we've faced up to now, he mainly focuses on Shadow and Fiend attributes, so make use of Dream and Light monsters to take them out. However, do not bother trying to change the field with a spell card, as PaniK has 3 copies of Yami in his deck to change the field back if you do so. Anyway, let's just swarm the field with Toadmaster. And we'll destroy whatever he's defending with. He shouldn't be too difficult to deal with, since he's got rather weak cards to begin with. But if you are struggling, just focus on the attribute system, playing it to your advantage. You can always just lose this duel, re-challenge him again after changing around your deck. However, you will have to go through the first car and the door guard again, so keep that in mind. Thankfully, he doesn't seem to be causing me any issue. The opponent is out of LP. Duel victory. Your deck capacity increased by 5. 100 Domino was obtained. Fiend's Hand was obtained. Okay, not all that strong of a monster, but it is a pretty good effect. It will get rid of one enemy monster on the field, but also get rid of itself, so it's kind of a double-edged sword. We're now arriving. This is our last stop, the Egypt exhibition.
I may have lost the duel, but you will never get the Millennium Items.
Okay, well, from defeating PaniK, we can head to the left here, despite him going right, to find a third and final car. You can duel 2 more people in this car, but I don't think it is absolutely necessary, especially in vanilla. If you struggled with the PaniK fight, you're probably not in any shape to do so, so we'll want to just follow PaniK off the train. A giant man, you say? He disembarked and headed to the Egypt exhibition. Okay, let's follow him. Hey, the big guy took off running up the stairs. Okay, thanks for pointing our way.
The runt chased after me.
Oh, and he certainly got rather violent. You okay, dude? A dark giant man bumped into me and sent me flying. Ow, ow, ow! He barged into the Egypt exhibition. A dark giant man sent me flying and he didn't even say sorry. Can you imagine that? What a jerk. Yeah, with a name like PaniK, I can't imagine he's all that much of a nice guy. Anyway, we can head up here, but if instead of following him that way, if we go off this way, we get brought back to the map, and we can go back to Domino Square, Domino Station, and back to our house. So you'll definitely want to make use of the save point to restore your life points if you are hurting after your fight with PaniK. With that said, we can't just let PaniK do what he wants, but we'd be a fool to rush in blind. We'd better prepare. Next time, we head into the museum to stop PaniK in his tracks. I want to thank you all for watching. Until next time, stay gold.
Playback sequence terminated. Transmission disconnected.